everyone to Big VTV Tuesday night. Round 2 is done and dusted, which means we're wrapping up the senior divisions tonight, all 6 of them. Craig joins me back at the desk. It's another great night because the big fella in the middle is disappeared. He's off on a weekend-long break. He thinks, he runs the show, so he doesn't have to turn up to every single show. What's the go here?
He's been on holiday more than he's been at work to start this season. And we've got a long weekend coming up, so he's off again.
Ridiculous. Unbelievable. Anywho, it's better for us because people can see the television.
Yep.
We don't have to be so stuffed in the studio. It's just brilliant. So let's move on to round 2 recaps. We'll kick it off with Division 2 women. There's some scores up on your screen. It all started off in Wallen when the Panthers got the best of Collingwood.
Yeah, they had a 22-7 first quarter to help them along there. Emmy O'Neill with 28 points and 19 rebounds, a huge game.
Helen Roden with 14 for Collingwood. I'll tell you what, Emmy O'Neill's had a pretty good start to the season for the Panthers. She'll be one to look out for. Blackburn defeated Coburg 79-56. Sammy Zanaro 21 points. Coburg's import Brianna O'Connor with 20 points and 5 assists pacing the Giants. Mornington, far too good for Sherbrooke.
Yeah, Ash Wright leading the way with 22-7. Fiona Darnell with a double-double, 12 points, 16 rebounds and 6 assists as well. Beck Ross continues leading Sherbrooke out there.
Craigieburn defeated Melton on the road. Alana Prochak 13 points. Nicole Cameron had a double-double as well to go with 5 assists. Emily Attard with 10 points for Melton. To wrap D2 women off, Melbourne Uni got the best of North East at home.
Yeah, Fiddler on the roof with 17 and 7 rebounds. Rachel Jeffrey with 14 points for North East, but Melbourne Uni far too good.
Let's take a look at Division 2 men. It started off with Pakenham, a very good win against Mildura at home.
And since he's not here, we can actually get this name right for once. Josh B. Allen with 17 points to lead Pakenham. They needed a win, I think it's fair to say. Definitely a strong team in the competition, but needed to get it on the board. And Steve Bowden with 20 points and 7 rebounds for Mildura.
Yeah, Brent Simons had 16 points and 15 boards as well for the Heat there, but Pakenham get the W. Southern Peninsula continued their good start to the season with a big win over the Bushies.
Yeah, Corey Bond has had a good start to the season himself. Personally, he had 19 points. Liam Wright leading the way for North East with 16 and 8.
Wallen, good win over Altona by 6 points. Hayden Annett, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Tommy Scott with 22 for the Gators. Sherbrooke on the road, a good win against Craigieburn, who were minor premiers last year.
Yeah, they were, and they're looking strong to start the season as well. Nice tight game here. Damon Smith with 19 points and 13 boards for Craigieburn, but Eric Mira Flores with 20 points. Travis Julian, the import.
I want to speak about this. Travis Julian. This is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
He played 5 minutes. 5
minutes as an import.
You looked at 5 minutes and went, oh, come on, mate. What are you doing playing 5 minutes?
Maybe
roll your ankle
or something like that.
Did you roll your ankle or something? 0 points, 0 of 4 from the field. Remember this, 5 minutes. He had 5 fouls. He got fouled out in 5 minutes. He was hitting the sheds early on in the third quarter.
Well, let's look at the bright side. It's all uphill from here.
They got the W.
And Sherbrooke won, so when he can stay on the floor, they're going to win by 20 or 30.
That's exactly right. Hats off to the rest of the Suns players stepping up. Mildura two road games, I should say, didn't go home empty-handed. 2-point winners over Melton.
A very high-scoring game with Melton. Dexter Graham with 31 points, huge. 17 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals. Huge game for Melton, but just couldn't get over the lines. Brent Simons leading the way from Mildura with 24. Melton, I believe, adding an import perhaps.
Interesting. Okay. Keep your eyes peeled on the Thoroughbreds. Coburg big winners at Altona. I'll tell you what, this was a defensive slog.
Yeah, in contrast to the last game we just talked about, 45-63. Altona had no one in double digits. They only shot it at 23% from the field. It was 38-13 at halftime, and it's tough to come back from there.
Absolutely. James Weston with 13 points for the Giants, rounding out D2 men. Camberwell 6-point winners over Craigieburn. Nat O'Hara 15 points. Michael Osikowski 16 points. Damon Smith had 19 for the Eagles. Let's take a look at Division 1 women. There's some scores up on the screen. Amy Wormold's big game, not enough to get Warrnambool over the line, and I feel as though we didn't get enough credit to Casey on Friday night.
I think I'm the only one on the panel that tipped him. Come on. Going up to Warrnambool and winning, despite Amy Wormold having 30, 16, 3 steals and 3 blocks. That is huge.
Yeah, massive game.
Any win up there is huge, but putting up with that, and Billy Lucas, I think Justin called this, he said it's time for their stars to step up getting into this new season, and Billy Lucas, 16 points and 6 rebounds.
Yeah, hats off to the Cavs on the road there. Whittlesea good winners over Warrandyte, who just haven't clicked as of yet.
Yeah, Rebecca Romeo leading the way for Whittlesea with 13 points, but a nice spread there. Tamara Matetic with 11 and Alan Patterson with 11 as well for Warrandyte.
Chelsea couldn't get it done at home, going down at 20 to Mildura, despite their new import Renisha Washington debuting.
Yeah, so she replaced Malika Jackson. Vanessa Power, huge for Mildura as always with 28 points and 6 rebounds. Alexis Gassion with 24 points and 12 boards as well.
Big game from that duo there. Latrobe City 6-point defeat to the hands of Chelsea at home. Mackenzie Miller had 19 points, 8 rebounds. Kelly Gardner had 19 points. I think she was 0 of 10 on Saturday night. Then top scored for the girls on Sunday. So hats off to her bouncing back. Camberwell, good win over Werribee.
They've been good to start the season, haven't they? They had 15 points from Sarah Stone and Talia Higgs with 14 and 9. Alyssa Bennett for Werribee with 17 and 16, but not much help there.
Now, I said last night there was a couple of scores unavailable. Western Port and Mildura is the same. If you're at the game, let us know. We'll try and keep an update on bigv.com.au, but certainly if you can relay that score quicker than that, let us know. And finally, Hawthorn, Rahani Cox debuts for the Magic. They get Geelong by a point.
Yeah, great game for Hawthorn. Down double digits in the first quarter and just fought their way back into it. Rainey Matthews with 11 points and 5 rebounds for Geelong, but a bit of a slog out there.
Yeah, Rahani Cox, 17 points, 7 rebounds, as we mentioned. Let's look at Division 1 men. There's some scores from round 2 to wrap us up. Collingwood, big winners over Sunbury, and they're doing pretty well in D1 now.
Could be the good news story of this year. I mean, there was a lot of chatter that they might not be up to the standard of Div 1, but they've come out and they've won their first game comfortably. They've come out this weekend and they've gotten up by 21 points on Sunbury behind Matty Hendricks, who just keeps doing his thing. Is an ageless monster out there.
That's right. I know they fell to a handy Keysborough side later on, which we'll mention, but certainly Collingwood doing some good things in Division 1 men. Western Port and Geelong, as we mentioned, in Division 1 women, no score available there. Shepparton and Latrobe, no stats available, but I can tell you that the Gators defeated the Energy 84-61, so a good win for Shepparton there. Warrnambool couldn't get it done on home soil.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? We saw Warrnambool lose both games, and Warrnambool go to the history books. I can't remember any time that happening in the last few years, so it's going to be a bit of a shock to the system down there for the Green Army. And Xavier Blount with 27, 9 rebounds and 5 assists. He's put up some numbers early this season, but Boleyn too strong. Thad Varmel comes to the party. We know how good he is from a few years ago back in Big V, and he really put on a show with 32 points, 8 rebounds and 3 assists.
It was his second half too, because I think he had 2 points to half time to his name. So 30 points second half to Thad certainly lifted the Boomers over the line. Warrandyte, a handy import for them as well, including into the Warrandyte lineup. Ayindi Spreewell, 21 points and 19 rebounds, got the job done over Whittlesea.
Is there a rule that says if your last name is Spreewell, you have to be good at basketball?
Probably.
A good win there for Warrandyte. They'll look dangerous going forward, I think.
24-5, third quarter did the damage there. Sam Sykes had 18 and 12 for the Pacers. Chelsea, far too strong for Latrobe on the road.
Yeah, some huge games from their superstars. We all know who Corey Standifer is. Matt Brassel was incredible last year. Nathan Frost, taking the step up, has missed no beat. He had 20 points and 10 rebounds. Brassel with 31 and 4, and Standifer with 34 points, 12 rebounds and 7 assists. If you're getting those contributions from those two, as well as Standifer's usual game, how are you going to guard them?
Yeah, I tend to agree. They'll be winning more games than they lose. Jordan Granger had 29 and 10 for the Energy in the loss. We spoke about Collingwood's loss earlier. They went down to Keysborough by 7. Calvin Enge had 23. Manny Hendricks, 34 points. And finally, Melbourne Uni, a little bit disappointing. 47 went down to Shepparton, 67. Nick Masunda had to do it all with 18 points, 14 rebounds and 4 assists. But there is some big news out of the Black Angels camp.
Yeah, massive signing coming into Big V. One of the highest profile Big V players ever.
Absolutely.
B.A. Brandon Armstrong, the man you might know thanks to these videos. We'll put him up. Put him up. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, LeBron James. He's imitated them all. He's got a huge social following, and look, I don't think you can do half that stuff unless you can actually play. So
absolutely,
excited to see him in the league.
Over 1 million followers on Instagram, I believe, nearly 1 million on Facebook. So we're looking forward to having Brandon Armstrong in the Big V, playing and suiting up for Melbourne Uni.
Hopefully, he can help turn Melbourne Uni's season around, because they've had a bit of a shaky start to the season.
Absolutely. Let's look forward to state championship men now. Let's go to state championship women first. Before we head to state champ men, there's some scores on your screen. Hume City 3-point winners over Ringwood.
Yeah, nice tight game. Hume City have looked pretty good to start the season. Ringwood are going to be good as always. Callie Hardeman with 15 and 13. Nicole Zammit 11 points, 10 rebounds. I think she could play for another 10 years and just keep putting up numbers.
Absolutely. Desi Ramos at 17. Amanda Mineking double-double for Ringwood. I think Southern Peninsula are going to be very strong this year. They put Bulleen to the sword.
They could have one of the best guards in the league, only an 18-year-old, but Jazz Shelley, what a game. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 9 steals. Peyton Little joined the party with 22 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists and 4 steals as well.
An upset brewing on Saturday night. Waverley at home defeated Sunbury by 11.
And that's Waverley without Tegan Cunningham, so huge signs moving forwards. Great game for them. Callie Bowen leading the way with 18 and 5. Orla O'Reilly with 22 and 10 for Sunbury. But I believe Josie Stockel didn't play for Sunbury, at least Penaluna getting the start in her stead.
Yeah, correct. Eltham and Knox were taken to overtime. And it was the inclusion of Alice Kunek that just couldn't get Eltham over the line. 26 points, 15 rebounds, but Knox by 7.
Yeah, great bounce back from Knox. They were a little weaker the week before. Great to see them fight, especially with Alice Kunek joining Eltham. That's going to be a strong outfit all season long.
And finally, Keilor, far too good for McKinnon.
Yeah, Keilor led by Erin Bowman. 22 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists. Megan Krischer with 10 points and 9 rebounds, but great signs early for Keilor.
Probably crying out for the return of Ariel Thomas as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll help, definitely.
Finally, state champ men Ringwood had their rings presented to them, the team, I believe, on Saturday night. At the rings. And they were pretty good on Saturday night as well. Big winners over Werribee.
Yeah, Scotty Stone showing he's going to be a star in the competition with 27 points, 4 rebounds and 5 assists. Sean Clark keeps doing it. 18 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Connor Coulas with 20 points and 8 rebounds for Werribee.
Eltham and Keilor battled it out all night long, and Keilor actually got the 2-point win on the road.
This is a huge weekend for Keilor. Both teams going up, as we know. Both teams super competitive and getting huge wins in the tough competition. Benny Waldron, massive for Eltham, but couldn't quite get over the top. Jordan Coleman, huge for Keilor. He's had a great start to the season. And great contributions from Mosquera Pere and Chuck Long as well.
Yeah, big time. Good win for the Thunder there. McKinnon too good for Hume on the road, 98-89. Dylan Stith, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, continuing to prove while he's the MVP in the competition.
Let's just pause for a second. I walked into the office this morning and I said, Steve, did you see Dylan Stith's line on the weekend? And he said, yeah, still not good enough to make my team.
I said, he's a good player, isn't he? That's right. Mike Rose, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Lee Jack had 20 for the Broncos. Blackburn, they've been competitive, but they're just falling short time and time again in the opening couple of rounds.
A great start to the season for Trewella, though. He had 19 points and 4 assists. But Waverley with a 25-11 first quarter, and that proved the difference in the end. Chris Arkell leading the way with 22, 8 rebounds and 5 assists. So many options down there at Waverley. Off the bench, starting on the wings inside. They've just got talent all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've got their 2 imports coming off the pine at the moment too. So they've got plenty of depth out there. Carrara Bay, 1-point winners over Hawthorn. Jackson Bentley, 22 points. 3 of those was the game winner with 10 seconds left. Kirk Smith had 21 for the Magic. And finally, Casey, 10-point winners over Knox.
Yeah, I saw this game and Casey just looked really solid. They get contributions from everyone who hits the floor, execute well, and just get it done on both ends of the floor. Knox maybe just lacking a little bit of talent at the moment. I think they're reliant on their top-end players a little bit too much.
Okay, just need to add a piece or 2 to the call.
Yeah, or maybe just one of those players to step up and take shoulder more of the load.
There you go. That's round 2 done and dusted. Tomorrow night on Big V TV, and in fact on Thursday night, we've got something a little bit special coming up in terms as we head into the Easter break. Tomorrow night, top 5 homegrown guards over the last 10 years. We do the females first, and on Thursday night, of course, we finish that off with the men. So we hope to have your company tomorrow night as we go through the top 5 homegrown guards for the women. See you tomorrow night.